What's shaking, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Gardner Oat, founder and CEO of GEMS Intercontinental, an abbreviation for Gardner's English Mastery School Intercontinental, where we learn English the practical and conversational way. Well, today I'm back again with another exciting episode on shopping and customer interactions. And to be very specific, I prepared detailed slides on expressions to complement a product or a service. So without wasting much time, let's dive in. This is really high quality. I love it. Now, this particular phrase, gives specific praise. And as you know, giving specific praise shows that you noticed effort and craftsmanship. It is very sincere rather than generic, and complimenting like this helps to build a good rapport at the store. You use this particular phrase right after you examine a product and you're impressed by its build, its feel, or its finish. Make sure you use a warm, upbeat tone, smile if you are in person, and maybe hold the product with interest. Fantastic. Let's get to the next phrase. Wow, the service here is outstanding. Now, compliments about service encourage good behavior, they create goodwill, and show you value more than just the product. Positive service language helps to build loyalty. Use this particular phrase after a positive interaction, which includes helpful advice, quick service, friendly attitude, name it. And make sure that you use a friendly, grateful tone, make eye contact, and maybe even nod or smile. It does the magic. Fantastic. Let's get to the next phrase. This looks beautiful. Exactly what I was hoping for. Now, specific compliments about appearance, design, or feel, they make the compliment personal and thoughtful. Better than generic, okay? Better than saying something like nice. Now, complimenting like this tends to make interactions more positive, okay? Now, use this particular phrase when you have been searching for something and finally find it, or when a product's design appeals to you. Make sure you use a genuine tone, all right? And maybe a slight pause before exactly what I was hoping for to emphasize sincerity. So drop it like this. This looks beautiful. Exactly what I was hoping for. Let's get to the next phrase. The packaging presentation is excellent. Very professional. Now, noting presentation shows attention to detail and appreciation for effort, which is, what many sellers take pride in. Compliments about aspects beyond the product like packaging are often very much appreciated. You need to use this particular phrase upon seeing nicely packaged merchandise or neatly arranged display, and make sure that you use a calm but appreciative tone. Maybe lift or even handle the package gently to show interest. Let's get to the next phrase. That's a clever design. I really appreciate the thought behind it. Now, complimenting designs, innovations shows you value depth, not just looks, making your compliment sound thoughtful and genuine. Giving such compliments is more meaningful. Now, you use or say this particular phrase when you see a product with a unique or particularly useful design feature. Now, you use an engaged, curious tone, and of course, you might even touch or inspect the product. Let's get to the next phrase. Honestly, that's some of the best service I have had in a long time. Now, high praise stands out and often leaves a lasting positive impression. Staff are likely to value and remember such feedback, and using warm, sincere compliments contributes to trust and loyalty at the end of the day. So you use this particular phrase after experiencing excellent service, patience, helpfulness, and it actually goes the extra mile. So you need to use a sincere tone and maybe even pause after honestly to emphasize what? Sincerity. Honestly, that's some of the best service I have had in a long time. Let's get to the next phrase. I appreciate how honest and helpful you are. It makes shopping easier. Now, honesty builds trust. Complimenting it strengthens relationships. So positive, authentic feedback fosters goodwill and customer loyalty. So when you feel that staff are open, honest, and they go beyond minimal service to help, this is the particular phrase to use. This is your go-to phrase to use whenever you feel all these things. Okay, now make sure you use a warm, sincere tone, a direct eye contact, and a slight smile. The smile always works magic. Let's get to the next phrase. This exceeded my expectations. Thank you for that. Excuse me. Acknowledging that something exceeded expectations, shows much sincerity. And such compliments often resonate more, than simple, good job, nice, I like it. So make sure that your compliment is very intentional. And you use this particular phrase immediately after receiving a product or a service and realizing it's better than expected. You need to say it in a very enthusiastic but polite tone, perhaps a small nod or smile. This exceeded my expectations. Thank you for that. Let's get to the next phrase. Thank you for being so patient and attentive with me. Now, acknowledging effort and not just the outcomes at the end of the day shows emotional intelligence. People appreciate being seen and recognized for patience and professionalism. Use of courtesy and empathy language improves communication. Good note of that. Now, inside a busy store, sometimes you might find yourself in many of these busy stores. This is when you get to use this particular phrase. You use this particular phrase if you're inside a busy store or if they helped you handle multiple questions or needs. Alright? And make sure that you're very appreciative. Use a very appreciative tone, very considerate tone, and maybe a short pause to show sincerity. Thank you for being so patient, struck attentive with me. Let's get to the next phrase. You have done a great job with this. I'm really happy with it. Now, recognizing good work or service directly reinforces positive behavior and shows appreciation. Complimenting effort is often more meaningful, than commenting on superficial aspects. And when you use this particular phrase after purchasing or after using the product a little or at point of sale stroke service. Make sure you use a friendly but sincere tone, maybe nod or use a hand gesture to show approval. Let's get to the next phrase. I appreciate how transparent and fair you are about pricing. Now, trust and fairness matter in customer relationships. Praising them builds rapport and encourages integrity. Use this particular phrase when you see clear pricing, no hidden fees, or fair negotiation, discount processes. Alright? Make sure you use a calm, sincere tone, perhaps slight eye contact or a nod. Let's get to the next phrase, which happens to be the very last phrase of the day. Thanks for the wonderful experience. I'm really satisfied. Now, this particular phrase leaves a strong positive impression, signaling appreciation and satisfaction, useful for building rapport and customer loyalty. So use this particular phrase at the end of the shopping stroke service interaction for once, or once you leave the store. Sorry about that. So you need to use a warm, appreciative tone, maybe smile or even say thank you sincerely. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for making time for this particular episode. My name is Gardner Oat. Make sure to reach out to me via my contact details displayed on the screen in case you have any questions or any details that you would want me to clarify. And leave your comments and feedback at the comment section below. I'd really appreciate that for proper planning for future lessons. Up to that point, see you during the next episode. Bye bye for now.